It's Shane from the Be Under Par Performance Center, and we're gonna do a fit with my main man, Matt Gilbert, tailor-made fitter. So we're gonna go through an iron fitting right now. I play a Mizuno MP20, 7-iron we have today with a KBS 120. So I'm gonna leave it to the pro to be able to guide me through an iron fitting.
First thing, really, couple questions. What are you looking to gain out of your fit? What's kind of the main objective against there right now?
To be honest, I could probably use a few yards extra distance, and just on my off-center strikes, just to keep my misses on the map. I miss everything left.
Okay.
Right. So I'm trying to kind of just minimize my miss and maybe gain a few yards in the process. So.
Okay. Is there any kind of a trouble point or shot in particular that you really struggle with your irons?
Like I said, I think it's just a left miss. I miss everything. My miss is always going to be left. I won't say always, but like that's my predominant miss.
Mm-hmm.
When I start missing it left, it grows.
Is there any clubs in particular, like the longer irons or shorter irons in the set, that are better or worse?
It's gotten better as of late because I've been putting more time in, kind of hitting. And now that I'm doing a fit, I'll struggle, but it's just how it goes. But no, I'd say, yeah, contact's been decent. But yeah, just a left miss. And then when I try to overcorrect, sometimes I'll block one or hit one off the heel, just to kind of overcorrect.
Yeah.
But yeah, nothing. Yeah, like I said, just try to. I think mainly just like get the misses down a little bit more, not off the map left, right? Like just trying to keep it in a tighter window, I guess.
Great, perfect. All right, well, let's get warmed up and get about 5 good baseline shots with your club now, and we'll see if we can improve on any of it. Five good shots here as a baseline of your irons now, which are the MP20s with the KBS 120 stiff, right?
Mm-hmm.
One thing I forgot to ask before, do you know the specs on those as far as your length and lie go?
Everything's standard. I didn't have anything changed. Standard length, standard lie. Yep.
All right, perfect. So we see right here, your average is 158 on the carry.
Yep.
173 overall. You said you expect your 7-iron to be about a 165 carry.
Yep.
Which correlates to you wanting a couple extra yards out of that one.
Yep.
Looking at it, your launch and spin, your launch there is or your spin is definitely a little bit low on that.
Sure.
I think we got a couple of them a little bit on the heavy side, but you definitely do that. I think it slowed down that ball speed as well too. But what we're looking here is you definitely see a little bit of left miss. The distance control actually wasn't too bad. We did get rid of a couple of the short ones there, but the distance control wasn't too bad on it. But like you said before, the one miss way left like that. What we'd like to do is straighten that out a little bit. This grouping right here would be a lot better, and then if we can add a couple more yards to it, which I think we can definitely get the carry distance up there, a little bit more spin on it. See the total yards on there with an iron, it's a little bit more of a rollout than we really want to see.
Sure.
So actually, from looking at this, forgiveness wise, what do you value forgiveness versus workability on there?
Honestly, I don't need to. I think a younger version of myself would have said I probably want to work the ball more, but in realistic standards, like I would just want a little bit more forgiveness.
Okay.
Workability not as important.
Based on the results, you want a little bit more distance. Consistency is a little bit of an issue, and then the miss a left right there. What I think I'm going to start you out with is the P790 iron.
Yep.
One of the cool things we could do here actually is is we can actually adjust the loft of it as well too. So I'm going to go a 2 degrees a week on this one. What I'm hoping to do is it's going to be a little bit of a larger iron than what you're playing now, so it's going to give you a little bit of the added forgiveness.
Yep.
It should give you a little bit more a distance as well too, and then the weaker loft should help you get the ball in the air with a little bit more spin as well.
Okay.
Somewhat into the, you're pretty firmly into the stiff category, but I'm thinking maybe even a softer tipped X-Flex maybe an idea as well too. But I think based on the spin as well too, a club head is going to have a bigger impact on that. So what I want you to do is give the P770s a try. What I'm doing here is this is the P770 club head. It's still the hollow body iron, and it's going to offer you that little extra forgiveness as well too, but it is a little bit of a smaller club head than the P790 is. And one of the biggest things is it is a little bit of a weaker loft as well too, even than the weak lofted P790s. And then what I'm hoping that does is actually increase the launch and spin a little bit. And then I put a dynamic gold S300 in there. It's going to be a little bit more weight. It's about 130 gram. And it's a little bit stiffer tip than the KBS as well too. Right here, so we started with the baseline of the MP20 with the KBS 120. We went to the P790 irons, 2 degrees weak actually with the KBS 120 as well. And then the last iron we hit was the P770 irons with the dynamic gold S300 for a little bit more weight in there. So from the numbers we have here, ball speed actually steadily rose. So you had an average of 110 with your irons right there. We went to 112 with the P790s. Now that's not the most surprising thing, being the hollow body design, a little bit of a larger club head that is to be expected. But what we didn't really see is as big of a difference in kind of the spin numbers as we wanted to right here. So then the next goal is to go to the P770 iron. So size-wise and forgiveness-wise, they're going to be pretty comparable to yours, and actually a little bit more forgiving as well too because of the hollow body design. And what we did is we actually went to the dynamic gold S300 to get a little bit more weight in it. What we identified is you trying to kind of guard against the left miss. We're kind of pushing it right and hitting it a much weaker shot.
Sure.
So the extra weight to kind of help smooth out your swing and let you kind of give you a little bit more substance to swing against there. With the corrected averages, we see actually the ball speed jump even more there too. So actually technically a smaller iron that should be slightly less forgiving actually resulted in a higher ball speed. What I really want to do is increase the launch and spin as well too, which we see we did. We did right there. So we averaged almost 20 degrees of launch and 5,100 spin. Now, ideally, actually, even a tiny bit more spin, if we can get that to 5,200 or 300, I think we'd be doing even better. We can kind of help dial that in with the use of ball as well too. So if you go with a little bit of a spinnier ball, possibly, you could help kind of dial that in even more. And we actually increased a carry distance to 164 on that one. I'm right there with a total distance of 173. So with that extra spin and the extra angle of descent, the ball's sticking a little bit better, and you actually got 6 yards more than what we started with your current iron right here, and exactly in line with what's expected out of your 7 iron as well too. So that should definitely be nice to get used to the ring carry distance again that you're expecting out of it. And what's nice too, we see the black line here is tough to see. Probably shouldn't have used black. But it's actually, we still did have one left miss there that is extending it a little bit wide there. But what's nice is the distance control we have from back to front right there is actually the tightest distance dispersion out of all the irons as well too. And even starting from the red there, you were probably another good 4 or 5 yards left, and you actually missed your longest one right with your current irons as well too. So left to right was pretty comparable between both the P790s and P770s, but the distance control was much tighter on the P770s right there.
That's awesome.
So how did you think they felt between all three?
Yeah, I definitely felt that feels like a very solid iron. As most people say, it's tough to beat the feel of a Mizuno, but this 770, I haven't tried TaylorMade irons in quite a long time actually. And the feel, and then even when I did mishit it a little bit, it's still kind of, it didn't felt like I lost much because I kept heel striking. This one was the best. The 790 felt a little bit more clunky for my swing because I'm used to a little bit smaller head. This profile even looks a little bit nicer. That top line really is quite perfect. And yeah, overall, it's just a really sharp looking club. So if you get just real simple, real kind of sleek, I like that. I don't care what anybody says. When you look down at a club, you want to feel confident in the way that it looks too. So there's definitely no issue with looking down at this club. It's a very sharp looking club. And then also the performance to go with it. I'll take 6 yards carry. I asked for 165. It was within a yard. And in a game of precision, I'll take a yard off. So yeah, these are pretty sweet. I'm definitely a fan. I think I'm gonna have to put these as the gamers. So thanks, Matt.
Absolutely. Anytime.
Great fit, man. Appreciate it.